Welcome in, folks, to the Can We Kick It podcast. I'm your co-host Mike, along with Chuck here. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's
What's
going on?
Not much, just getting back into the old routine of things. Finally getting caught up on TV. It feels like I have watched so much that now I'm like, okay, next week is one episode and not eight.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm caught up pretty much on everything now. Finished Black Rabbit, caught up on Task, caught up on Slow Horses, watched The Chair Company. Um, and the only thing I've left, like, pretty much on my list of active stuff is Invasion. So the finale, I think, or no, there's 10 episodes, like the eighth one or ninth one is out there. So Um, I'm actually on track there. I think I'm one behind on what I'm watching. So I think now the task
Yeah,
becomes finishing task slow horses and making sure I don't forget about Ed Gein, which I started.
yeah.
And then this week, the John Wayne Gacy story on Peacock is out, I think, on the 15th.
That
So
looks so good.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot out there. There's still a lot of stuff that I want to get caught up on, and then preparation for Stranger Things as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of stuff, but I actually feeling pretty good about where I'm at.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Um, got a new episode of Below Deck Med tonight. Chad Powers. It seems everything is hitting on like Tuesday, Wednesday, like of the block of TVs TV shows that I'm watching. Because Chad Powers
Yeah,
is on Tuesday, Only Murders Tuesday, Slough House technically Tuesday because it drops early. Um, and then I started The Last Frontier on Apple with Jason Clarke. That's a
yeah,
wild TV show that I thought would be more of a survival in the like Alaskan like wilderness. That's turned into
yeah.
like fucking like spy conspiracy show. It's so weird.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I've seen the preview. I haven't
yeah.
took a
And
look at
then
that yet.
and then there's a new show that starts tonight called DMV, which has Queef from Righteous Gemstones, where they all work at the DMV, and it's got oh man, we like the guy. Anyways, it's like CBS's new like sitcom, but they all work at the DMV. Looks decent. I'm gonna give it a try tonight. So,
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's on ABC. You said
CBS.
uh, CBS. So I mean, I was over with my parents. Oh, it's got the guy from who played the cannibal in Tim Meadows.
That's it. That's it.
Uh,
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah. So I was over at my parents' house and having lunch on Sunday, and my mom's like, I watched some of the Emmys, but I didn't recognize any show but Abbott Elementary. And it's just, I mean, it just shows the TV landscape has changed, and why you and I talk about all
Yeah.
these shows on different streaming services. A lot of people are watching still,
Cable TV.
ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC. Probably a lot of viewers watching 911 Los Angeles, 911 Nashville,
Nashville. Yeah.
Comets,
I
police officers going to space. I mean,
didn't know if that trailer
so
was like accurate. I saw that like somebody was in space, and I was like, they're going to space.
no.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
apparently, the shows had like B tornadoes, like all kinds of outrageous scenarios. Because I did the same thing when I saw the trailer that I kept posting on Instagram like 50 times and sending it to you every day.
Yeah.
Uh, I was going down a rabbit hole going, this is real? Like this show does that?
The
Like,
show
who
does
watches
that.
it? And I'm like, we're watching, oh man, we're watching, like Task, and it's like all these intricacies of things going on and in different storylines. And then here's a show that's going out on broadcast TV to billions of people or millions of people with like um some kind of space comets coming in like ground, and the guy's like 183 brace for impact, and you're like, or whatever. It's like everybody hunker down. I
Oh no.
mean, it's just it's insane, but I mean, they've
Different
got to
TV.
be over the top.
Yeah,
So
they got to somehow take up the airtime. I get it. I get it.
yeah, for real.
But yeah, and I started watching Alien Earth. I'm like halfway through it. It's weird. I mean, it's pretty sci-fi. I don't know that it's going to be in the pantheon of alien content, but I'm halfway through it. I'll let you know how that ends. Uh, you finished Black Rabbit, yeah?
Yeah, finished Black Rabbit last night, and you know, I really ended up liking it. I fought so hard throughout the series. It's like I don't really like this, or it's missing something. But the missing something was um was Homeboy jumping backwards off the building.
That was it.
Um,
That
Jason
was
Bateman. That was it.
that
It
was-
was missing that. I mean, I think what it was a good. It was a dark, emotional, slow burn where you find out the history of where how these guys got to where they're at,
yeah.
and basically Jason Bateman's character um, dropping the bowling ball on his dad is beating his mom and killed him, and then um, the other brother, not Jake, apparently doesn't think that Jake knows, and apparently, or Vince doesn't think Jake knows, and apparently
Has always
he
known.
knows.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part, like, was with the gangster dad and Jake just like having kind of a when he was there to kill him at the end,
Yeah.
and he said, Vince is dead, and just them having like kind of that head to head kind of cry, and that was just a wonderful scene and a way to wrap it up because you know, it doesn't matter how much of a fuck up your family member is, and there's always a story. It's still there's a father, a son, there's a brother, there's someone that you love, and that's what I think one of the best lines that was very telling of the series is like that Jake's addiction, Vince's addiction was, very tangible, very visible, gambling, drugs, all this. Jake's addiction was Vince. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that was his addiction. And so I thought it was very well done. And I think it was a long way to get there
Yeah.
over the course of the story, but I think in totality it was fantastic. So
I was
I,
debating on how to make that show better, and I think if you cut 2 episodes and you make it tight, I think
yeah,
I think that show's a banger. I mean, I came to really, really love it at the end when he fell off of the wall, off of the roof, and that I literally almost started crying. Like it was heartbreaking
yeah,
that he
yeah,
like sacrificed himself because he saw himself as a cancer on everybody, and
yeah,
that just goes to show you like Bateman knows when to pick the right material because that guy picks characters that really relate to some degree. It was amazing. Yeah. It was a little
yeah.
long-winded, but I liked and I liked the mob boss, the deaf guy that
Yeah.
and everything.
That was beautiful. I mean, that was wonderful because it was just so well done with the sign language and the emotion that his whole team and his son, they were all doing sign language. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to know it to work in that criminal organization.
Yeah.
And it was just the emotion that they were doing it with.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I mean, all the supporting characters were good. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, there were some subplots with Wes and the I always want to say Rosario Dawson, but I don't think it was her. But the one Jake was sleeping with, that was Wes's wife or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like the whole love triangle, that was his best friend, and I mean that was kind of. I mean, I guess you could have got to where they were at without
Yeah.
having that background because Wes was his best friend, so he's throwing parties at the Rabbit. His wife was like but I guess you needed it to get through the storyline of, hey, we're taking a just an add a layer to the storyline of
Yeah.
that we're trying to buy him out and take over the the whole
Yeah,
business.
his relationships all were pretty surface. I mean, except for his
Yeah,
brother.
yeah,
Like yeah, you could have done without him having the affair with the friends, Wes's like girlfriend because he racked up a bill and then was like, I'm not gonna pay it. Like I didn't bring a card tonight, and then he's like wanting to cut him out of like his next venture, which was
yeah.
I can't remember the tea room, whatever
The
it's.
pool room.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that and then like Jules, the financier, you only needed that guy because you needed the cleaner, right? Which was the guy that Jake was trying to get Vince out of the city with. Like there were a lot of things that were required that it was really really complicated. But
And I mean, you needed the the pervy rapist
Yeah.
thing
There's
too. To
always one of those in that kind of like element, right? Everything's pop
yeah,
around. There's always that one sicko. Yeah.
but it definitely drove like the kind of, I think it reinforced that everybody in the story was pretty shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, from the people that knew what was going on and that not dealing with it, and even the chef, you know, it was under her nose the whole time, and I mean she didn't know directly, maybe as Jake did, but it's it's showing that everybody had a part to play in
Yeah.
what happened and them dealing with the fallout from
Yeah.
what ends up happening. But
I did like
so
that when he was when Jake later was talking to the money to the deaf guy, Money Man. Um I can never remember his name. I'm gonna call him Mercado. I can't remember what his name was. Um but
yeah, it was
when he first went to see him at some point, his translator was talking for him in sign language, and Jake was looking at the translator, and the translator was like, "Don't look at me, dumbass. Look at him." And it's like
yeah.
people that aren't around people with sign language are like, "Oh, I'm going to look at the guy who's speaking," but he's like speaking on behalf of that guy. I thought that was really, really interesting. Just a nice throwaway that you don't think about.
Well, and it was really good to see the kind of tie back and connection to that the deaf guy was the one who cleaned up the mess
Yeah,
when Vince killed his father. So Joe
yeah, yeah.
Mancuso
Mancuso.
was the name.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Did you
and
get the
Junior,
vibe that maybe Mancuso was Vince's dad?
yeah, that popped into my mind. I saw it when he showed up and kind of like hugged the mom.
Yeah,
But then again, I mean, it could be, and it's almost like it felt like Mancuso lost two sons
yeah.
because he when Junior doesn't let it go. I mean, Mancuso was, he helped cover this up, and
They were close.
he was never gonna kill Vince.
No,
Mancuso
no,
was never gonna kill Vince.
no.
Jake had seen like he didn't have a problem
Yeah, he really
for
didn't
that, but
stress. Like he was like, "Yeah, I'll kill this guy. Like that's not a big deal." But like when he and Vince were at the bar and they were like he before he asked him to do like one last line, he's like, "You don't realize how much you and Junior like had in common." Uh,
yeah,
and then like the way he like gave Jake that like head nod and the cry at the end. I thought, damn, they're much more interrelated than they probably let on. I don't know that
yeah,
they were wanting to come out right and say it, but it definitely puts the doubt there. So I
yeah,
enjoyed that, and that it all went back to Mancuso and Vince. I mean, this all started with that night. So
yeah. And that event on that night drove, the future
yeah,
outcomes there. So
yep,
it was good. It was well done, and I think it was well done how they started the show and how they brought us back to that moment. I think in episode six, maybe six, or with a couple episodes to go. So yeah, it was good.
did you like that Jake went back to bartending at the very end?
I mean, it seemed out of place. Just if he's, I mean, I don't know what the money situation is, but he ran a successful, or maybe it wasn't that successful, but ran. I mean, maybe he has too much trouble following him around with everything that happened, and I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
What
he
am I, Nostradamus?
Yeah, right. I think when Vince is convincing him to start the Black Rabbit, I think he is a bartender at that point. The band didn't work out. Vince fucked that up. So now he's been bartending. Pretty good gig. I gotta imagine they make pretty decent money in New York at upper end, clubs and restaurants.
Yeah,
Um, and he wanted a slower life, right? I think he was just like, I'm gonna go back to doing what I, was doing and what I love doing, which
yeah,
is bartending. And I thought it was weird that the show like included that. And it was
yeah,
really interesting that they wrapped it up as nice as they did. Not hating it, but it just
yeah.
goes to show you like he's taking the time to take care of his son and probably owning up to his shit with his ex-wife too. I can't pay tuition.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I mean, but yeah, I don't, I mean, I hope it stays a limited series. You could
Yeah, yeah,
see now it could, it leaves it where do we want to pick up with Jake and is there anything else now? But I mean, I don't think, hopefully it doesn't come back, but I think it
no,
was a good ending to wrap it up, but it also,
yeah,
you still have people left if it was very popular and they decide they wanted to do something else. But
yeah,
yeah, overall, good. I
yeah.
was very,
I'd give it a
very pleased that,
6.5. Yeah,
yeah, I'd say seven. I was in that
yeah,
same ballpark.
yeah.
Um,
The ending brought it up. The ending brought it up for sure. If we did get
yeah.
a sequel or a spin-off, I'd be okay with a Mancuso spin-off, but no reason to bring anything else back from that universe. Mancuso was cool. I
I
liked it.
I would love to see his crime empire,
Yeah,
if that how wide that spread or what
yeah,
exists of that, and see just the operations of a someone who can't talk.
yeah. A
So
deaf
yeah,
crime boss. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, good stuff. Black Rabbit. Then that takes us into what you want to do, the chair company, or you want to do Task.
Let's run through task real quick. We
Okay,
had
that
the
sounds good. We're nearing
pen
the end of that show. Yeah,
penultimate episode.
yeah,
The finale is next Sunday. Um, so we picked up where we left off in the woods with uh Ruffalo,
yeah. The
um,
standoff.
and the standoff, and um, really good episode. I mean, it's creators of Mayor of Easttown. It's very similar style, um, and I guess a couple things stood out for me. Um, a lot of people died.
Not
You had
as many as I
Lizzie.
thought there would be.
Yeah, I mean, but you have Lizzie and you have
Yeah,
um, uh,
Tom Pelfrey. Yeah,
yeah,
Robbie.
I don't know,
Yeah,
Bobby,
Robbie. Yeah,
Robbie.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I'm blanking on
yeah,
these people's names. Yeah, so you have, and then I mean, some of the gang members die,
yeah.
but Jason and the other guy are still alive. Um, and we know now that,
Kathleen takes a shot to the shoulder. Yeah.
and we know that I keep saying Tanis. What's Ruffalo's character's name?
Oh, Tom. Yeah,
Tom Brandis.
Brandis. Yeah,
So, we, he survives. And we see, you know, uh, God, I'm blanking on names today. Um,
Maeve.
what's no, the dude, the rat in the task force,
Oh, Grasso. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Grasso. Grasso, like, he was trying to protect Lizzie, and of course, Jason and them run her over. Uh, brutal, brutal.
Blew her eardrum out. Like,
Yeah, she's deaf, and now she's dead.
yeah,
So
she's dead. Yeah.
it was at the other task member, dude. She was a marksman. And
Ooh,
she came in hot.
with a handgun. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really it was a great action scene in
Yeah.
the woods. And so
It's bad because
we
like the
know
whole time it was building up, I was like, "Oh, we're about to get Ruby Ridged up in here." Like, yeah,
that's going on TikTok.
yeah, yeah. To see like Tom and Robbie are at their standoff, and then the biker gang shows up, and like apparently Robbie has this whole plan to where he's gonna trap, I guess the biker gang. But it ultimately ends up getting blown up because the feds show up. The Dark Hearts start shooting first. First off, what an amazing name for a biker gang, the Dark Hearts. That is to me
Yeah.
the pantheon of biker gang names of
Yeah.
TV shows. Um,
Yeah.
and then ultimately it winds up right like Grosso is trying to save Lizzie, blows out her eardrum. She's trying to stop a dude that Grosso let go because he's dirty, and then she winds up shooting the guy, and then runs to the truck to get help and gets hit by Jason and Perry as they try to escape from the crime scene. Grasso's like beside himself. He's like losing it. Probably going to kill himself by the end of the show, which is what I thought was
Yeah.
going to happen by the end of the episode.
Well, jumping ahead to the end, or I don't know if this is the last scene, but the Grosso Brandis conversation and Grosso's table about confession and
So good.
who's it for, it's it's a human thing to make
I
you feel better, basically.
That was an amazing discussion in the middle of a
Yeah.
crime TV drama. I was like,
Yeah.
just got seriously
But
like spiritual, existential all of a sudden.
yeah, and I mean, as growing up Catholic, going to confession all the time, it was like, why, you're like, why am I doing this? And it was such a, I mean, he answered, or he was asking the questions that a lot of at least Catholics would ask,
Yeah,
oh, cool, like I say this, I'm forgiven, and then I show up in the afterlife. And it's like, remember the time you did this? You weren't forgiven for it.
yeah,
You're going down here.
yeah.
Like we don't know. So it was such a wonderful. I mean, he's having the existential crisis at the moment, and so I think it was a great way to end. And then we had also the drug connect lady bring. I mean, we what the whole crux of this is everybody thinks that um, Robbie has a bag of money or drugs.
Yeah. One
Well,
of the
I think the gang, I mean, they all think it's the drugs,
Yeah, the
right?
gangs are hoping
Because
it's the
how is
drug.
he going to move it? And then he showed up at the other drug dealer's house and they called Jason, right? So the assumption from the dark arts is like he still has the drugs because they didn't accept it. And do you think the other drug dealer and Robbie made this plan to like lure them,
I would
out
say
there and with the bag that we later found it filled with like flyers from the island that he wants to live on in Canada.
if I was the other gang, right, the other drug dealer, right, that's what I would have done. Is I would have played against Jason, the Dark Hearts, right, because
Yeah,
they're in competition. At the end of the day, we're not partners. If it were me, I would have played against Jason and Perry.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the way it went down, but yeah, the lady at the end shows up with the cash and gives it to Maeve. Um,
Which was also a dumb. I mean, it's great for the story, but it's like, what do you think's going to happen next week? Guess who's going to come
yeah,
looking for the
guess who's
money
coming back?
now that they found the bag
Yeah.
and
So
nothing is in there?
yeah, Jason and Perry have been hiding out apparently along the river. Really great job by the feds to think like, hey, let's look downriver. They can't be more than 5 miles down from where the bag is going. Come on, because Robbie threw the bag in the river and told Jason to go get it. Um, and so yeah, they like obviously Jason and Perry don't trust each other at this point at all. Jason can't find his wife Aura or whatever her name is. That's
Yeah,
what I call her. Aaron.
yeah.
And uh Yeah, they finally find the
Well,
bag in the river, and it's just yeah, full of the flyers for Canada. And so yeah, there's drugs in the wind, there's money in the wind. You think it's going to end there? No way.
yeah, and I mean, that's one of the kind of, I don't know, not necessarily plot holes, but if they're down at the river. They saw they abandoned the truck in the woods and they cast a wide net to find him. That's what the
Yeah,
FBI leader said, right? But they're not also looking for they're just not scouring every house along the river, and they're just hold up homeboys fishing. I mean, it's not like, I mean, there would be boats up and down the river,
I mean
and I
the
mean, if
guys with
this,
bloodhounds like sniffing the river and everything. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I mean, they know they. Yeah, to me, it just like, oh, we just handed off the safe search, and
yeah.
you know,
I've seen the fugitive.
um,
I know Tommy Lee Jones goes out there and he goes up to dams and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I know the U.S. Marshals are in deep. Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, I guess in theory, they could abandon the car, someone would pick them up, but I mean,
they
and
were
they could
last seen
be
at a
somewhere
truck
else, but
stop. And then like the next scene is
It,
like him fishing, and I was like, "Are they in Georgia now?" Like, and it's like, "Oh no, they're just like 10 miles downriver." And it was like, that makes no sense.
well, and the way that the bag is wedged, I mean, that could be a mile, that could be 500 feet. I mean, it's probably not going to be 20 miles downriver.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just very,
it was questionable. It was questionable.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, so a lot of good things happen, and then Tom, brings home little Sam as a foster parent,
love that his
and
daughters
they,
are just like
yeah,
this kid.
yeah.
um,
So
what do you think Robbie's original plan was if he was going to throw the bag in the river? Let's say the feds weren't there at all. Was his plan to just kill Jason and Perry and the whole gang?
I think it's kind of equates to the Vince Black Rabbit scenario. I think his plan. Well, I think his plan was ultimately to go to Canada or to get out of there. But I think his plan, knowing what could possibly happen, was to set up the gang, and whether he makes it out or not, with kind of a shootout with them. Um, but to give the money to Maeve to take care of his children, which is very selfish because she's already been dumped with them, and as
Yeah,
a 21-year-old girl taking care of three kids.
yeah,
So, but I don't know, he knew he was fucked, and his
yeah.
plan was, and I think his plan was like sell the drugs. I think it's a very short-sighted plan because I don't see any scenario that would have resolved the issue well enough, unless he had a bomb planted in the forest and they stepped on it and they all blew up. I mean,
That's what I thought the
uh,
bag was in the bag was like he was going to trap the dudes in the cabin and then blow it, right? Like maybe it was going to be like
yeah,
a couple gallons of gasoline or something. I don't know, but ultimately, if they kill him and they don't get the money and they find the bag downriver, I mean, maybe he just wasn't that far
yeah,
sighted in his plan making. I mean, he was a trash
yeah,
collector. No offense to that guy, but like, yeah, there's just that loophole in there that like they are still going to be looking for the money whether or not he lives or not. I mean, if they make it out alive.
yeah,
So, or maybe he was gonna get them, caught on killing him, right? And then the police would have enough to go
yeah,
after Jason and Perry. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, good question. I mean, I think what do you think's going to happen in the finale?
Oh, it's gonna be a shootout for sure. Jason and Perry dead. I don't think Tom's gonna die, but it'll ultimately
Yeah,
wrap up to where Jason and Perry are dead. Whether or not Maeve gets to keep the money or not is questionable because it's drug money. But
yeah,
does Tom let her walk away? From with the drug money. I don't know. He let her walk away, in his opinion, from being involved in the whole kidnapping thing, in which we see her get released. Um, but it'll get tied up nicely. Maybe Grosso kills the two guys. He shows up at the last minute, kills him, and gets blown away himself.
hmm,
But
yeah,
I did have a bet with Jackie about whether or not Tom Brandis was going to read somebody their last rites before the end of the show because he had a conversation with his dead wife about what to say to the dead. And I think I
yeah,
was still proven somewhat right because when he's driving Tom Pelfrey to the hospital, or they're
yeah,
riding to the hospital, he's kind of like closing his eyes and like mumbling, and I'm like, I think he's reading him his last rites.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I This turned into a really interesting show. What do you think's going to happen in the last episode?
I think Grosso dies. I think Jason dies. I think the old man maybe somehow gets away. The in Jason's gang, and then I think Brandis survives, and then the son gets commuted or some kind of sentence,
Mm,
because he testifies in court for them, and hopefully Maeve and the kids are safe. And but again, I think Jason may kill the other. I think he'll find out that he killed his wife,
yeah.
and end up dead. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Task?
No, it's I'm glad the show came around. It's something I don't normally watch. Is this like I didn't watch Mayor of Easttown. At
Oh,
least
you
not.
never watched it?
No, no. But
Oh
I really
man.
enjoyed Task. I like that new, northeastern. I just like that setting. I don't know. It's just something about it.
Yeah.
But um,
Yeah.
no other thoughts for me. I really am looking forward to the next topic of conversation.
Yeah, so Chair Company. So I would call this, so the Chair Company Sunday nights on HBO. I would call this a typical unhinged Tim Robinson,
For
like
sure.
delightfully unhinged.
Yes.
Um, he plays a character, Ron Trosberg, who is a kind of project manager at a architecture company. They're working on a mall design, like he's leading
Walls.
a mall, like it looks
Which
like an outdoor mall that you see now, like
which
Baybrook
is
and
classic
Clear Lake
Tim
has one.
Robinson. Like, wait, is
Yeah.
that even really a thing? Like,
Well,
that's
well,
his
and
favorite
it's
thing.
funny because he's really like off the bat, he just is, arguing with a waitress about like you've been to malls. She's like, not since I was 14. And he's like, yeah, you have. You're in a mall right now. He's like, this is a restaurant. He's like, it's a mall. Like, I mean, he just um but it's they're in Ohio, I think, and um it's the whole premise of the chair company. The start of it is he gives this big speech about the mall project, and he goes to sit down, and the chair breaks. A company called Tekka Chairs or Tekka Office Furniture, and it just takes him down this rabbit hole of trying to contact to let them know that the chair they may have a major issue with their chairs, and there's nobody you can contact, and it takes him to this like service, and they won't give out the number, and then he finds an email address, and it he writes him an email, and it pops back undeliverable, and then he finds an address, and he goes there, and it's like an empty room with like a copier and a red ball, and there's
Porn.
pictures of a naked lady. Yeah, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then he has to go to the bathroom in
Is he
that
eating a
where he's
hard
at.
boiled egg?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the little bit of hard-boiled egg that he had, yeah, that he left over from the restaurant. So it's just, and then I mean, and then the kind of end of the episode, he's like, I'll forget about it. It's not a big deal. And then some guy chasing the parking lot and hits him in the head and tells him to stop looking into the chair company. And then he chases him down. The guy's unbuttoning his shirt, and he pulls the shirt. He like goes to grab him. The shirt comes off, and Tim Robinson just stops. And the guy is still like just very slowly running away. And it's like, it's I don't know how it's going to be, but I mean, I found myself laughing, but I don't think it was like, I don't know what to think.
I don't either. I am so dumbfounded by how there's no substance to this show, but I find myself watching it and going, yeah, okay, that was funny. And then later rethinking
Yeah,
it and going, holy shit, that was really funny.
yeah, yeah. Just the whole, I mean, just even the whole first scene, like, he's with his wife, Lake Bell, who I love, Barb, who was in a show I watched a long time ago called Children's Hospital, and she's been in a few different things. And then like Jeff, I guess the boss or the head of the company is played by Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
Like just a randomness of people, and uh
I love like
and
he's just a guy that can't let shit go. That's what I like about
yeah.
the Tim Robinson character.
Oh,
He's laying in
it
bed trying to sleep and he's like, this pillow's made of metal.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, what?
And, and, and then it just the little things that happen, like when he falls, he lands under, and the lady stands over him, and he sees up her dress, and then she's like, I'm just gonna have to tell HR. I know you didn't look or see anything, but I need to
That's
report
how
it.
he
And then
becomes
someone else is
the
like, I
bad
gotta
guy
report
in
this
that.
to yeah. And then it just like they're like the HR lady is like, when we recommended for this, like we know the history, and we really had to convince the board they weren't sold on, like he has this reputation of being a psychopath or just like a fuck up or something, but they
Yeah.
still are like, yeah, we'll put him in charge of this. And and the other thing is like, are they setting him up to fail on this small? it goes into the thing is like, look at Jeff looks over at him when he falls or whatever, and like, okay, are they setting him up to, get rid of him, or there's more going on? But is it? I mean, do you think something is really going on, or is this just like a big elaborate thing to mess with him
I
by
have
people in the
no
company,
idea.
or it's like, is he going to uncover this like vast conspiracy that the chair company, like
It's run by
this, he,
like a cabal out of a pizza restaurant in
but
Queens.
or these companies like like buy these chairs and work with this chair company to set up these things to, you know, embarrass people in the company so they don't, and to help with their downfall. And so, I mean, I don't know. It's very
So
ridiculous, but
it's ridiculous. It's weird. It's Tim Robinson. People aren't gonna like it. I like it. I don't know if people. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if other people have seen the movie Friendship with him and Paul Rudd. It's so much like this where you don't know if he's reading too much into it or
yeah,
there's something actually going on. Nine times out of ten,
yeah,
I think Tim Robinson's just reading into everything.
yeah,
But even like he gets the promotion or whatever where he's going to be the project lead for this project in Canton, Ohio, and like the other guy is like, yeah, I was up for that promotion too, but
yeah,
I learned to slow down and now I play with
yeah,
bubbles.
yeah.
And he
Now
just
wear
got
this
like the
bubble
bubble
necklace.
chain. And I'm like, that's such a Tim Robinson thing. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing after the fact. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and his character, I mean, just even like Detroiters is very much like that. He gets obsessed with these things.
Yes.
And so, I mean, he's done an office style comedy before with Detroiters, and this one is definitely has a little bit different feel, but it's right in line with his style of comedy. So it's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but it's gonna be um super interesting how this ends up.
I
I
just,
can't wait. I thought it was a great
yeah.
first introduction to um Tim Robinson, who may not know who he is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I love that almost every joke that he has, at least in some of the shows, is always based off of something embarrassing that you have done or like that's relatable. Like this is
yeah,
like falling in that meeting and everybody's like, what the and then like he in I Think You Should Leave, he had one about he's selling a hot dog sucking machine because something bad happened to him, but he can't talk about it. So obviously he
yeah,
got choked on a hot dog. Like
yeah,
so funny. Just you have something embarrassing happen to you and you can't let it go, and he's that guy. And
yeah,
so he's not going to let it go. Who knows if it's even real? It's just
yeah,
hilarious that he eats that half
yeah,
hard boiled egg. He's taking a shit in the warehouse, and then apparently somebody's coming in the warehouse, look like walking around with a flashlight,
yeah,
while
yeah,
he also has a flashlight and thinks, "Oh, if I raise my feet, they won't see me." Except he
yeah,
also has his flashlight on. It's
yeah,
fucking hilarious. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so nothing else for me on that. Just excited to see it
yeah.
progress. So
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah. Nothing more for me. Appreciate everybody for kicking it with us this week. Tune in next week. We'll be talking more the chair company, the end of task. And as cousin likes to say,
peace.